Hello, I'm Rachel, the Messy Minimalist. Welcome to our March monthly decluttering challenge. So this month's decluttering challenge is going to be about paper clutter. Now, paper clutter is probably my most highly requested video topic. I always laugh a little bit because I'm like, do you really want me to talk to you guys about paper clutter? Like, I do not have my stuff together with this. It is not something that I've been very good at, but at the same time, it's something that is kind of always on my mind because it needs to get done. This is the month where we're all either A, preparing to do our taxes, or B, have just done our taxes and we have just stuff everywhere because of it. So if you've already done your taxes, then yay! Good for you. If you're like me, you have not done your taxes yet and it's been on your mind. Either way, it is a great time to go through that paper clutter and just figure out what do you need, what don't you need, and what can be filed. And then as an extension of that, how are you going to file it? Are you going to digitally file it or are you going to analog file it? So if you've been following our monthly challenges, then you'll know that the way this works is I come up with a challenge that is hopefully sort of applicable for that month, and the idea is that it can get done in either an afternoon or a weekend, but it's not the kind of thing that has to take all month to do. This is the kind of thing that should be a wham bam, thank you ma'am, get it done and move on. I am going to walk you guys through it. I will be doing it firsthand with you and show you all that if I can do it, you can do it too. So before we get into our monthly challenge, let me really quick introduce you to our March sponsor, and our March sponsor is a company called Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with over 17,000 classes in videography, productivity, entrepreneurship, so if you need to learn something, you're probably gonna find it there. Skillshare is particularly awesome for people who are looking to make their passion into a full-time gig, whether you're just exploring an idea or if you need step-by-step guidance. Like think building a website, social media, photo or video editing, or even if you're not starting a business but you just have something that you want to learn about, Skillshare has really well-done video courses that can help you. Plus, they're anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 hours long, so it's not like a crazy time commitment. I've been using Skillshare for a few months now, especially because this is the time when I'm transitioning my blog and YouTube channel into a full-time thing, and I've found that the courses are incredibly helpful. Typically, it is $10 a month to have a premium membership, but because they're our sponsor, we have a special offer. The first 100 people who click the link below can sign up to get 2 months for 99 cents. So that's like 50 cents a month. You probably have that sitting on your bathroom counter or in your pocket. If you're interested in learning more, expanding your business, starting something new, whatever it is, they're a really great company to check out. All right, on to our March monthly challenge. We're gonna be going to our desks, to our cars, to our junk drawers, to our countertops, your purses and pockets, wherever you keep clutter and paper clutter. We're gonna take everything that we have and put it into one place, and that is where we will begin sorting it. Paper clutter can be anything from like your children's drawings or your drawings to medical bills, house payments, receipts, even some people keep their grocery receipts. It's the kind of weird thing. You're like, why do I have this? But it's the kind of stuff that just clutters up our pockets and purses and countertops and junk drawers. And eventually it just becomes this big pile of paper. And it's tough to decide what to keep and what not to keep. Things I've held on to for a long time. I don't really have any intention of hanging them up. I don't even really care to look through them. I mean, I kind of enjoyed seeing them just now because I haven't seen them in a long time, but even still looking at them, I'm like, oh yeah, I drew those. At the same time, I paid good money for those college courses. Maybe there's something like I see some value in. That's kind of what I got out of it. That's the result of me taking those courses. I don't know, it's hard to say. Those are ones that I've kept. I actually years ago went through and got rid of a ton of drawings that weren't so good. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with those, but I consider those paper clutter. Those are very much in the same realm as paper clutter because they are pieces of paper cluttering up this closet. And this is a closet that I absolutely need to get cleared out. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these to our pile, but these are definitely gonna be a little bit of a tough one to decide what to do with. For this video, I'm actually going to be doing a digital filing system. So while in the past, I've actually been the type of person who loves to have my stuff neatly put in, well, not neatly, messily put in folders, I have always used folder systems, like actual physical folder filing systems. But it gets to the point where you end up having one of those for every single year, and then you're like, do I keep it for 7 years because that's what taxes want me to do? Do I get rid of it? And then 7 years pass and you're like, why on earth did I keep that for 7 years? On top of that, I know a lot of you guys, including myself, are not only, either trying to downsize physical possessions, but a lot of you guys are downsizing your housing situation. So if you don't have a lot of room, then keeping filing cabinets can be a real pain in the butt. Day 2, here we are. What I ended up doing was printing off pieces of paper. You guys could just manually write them yourself, whatever works for you, but I printed off pieces of paper that said all the different categories that my paper clutter falls into. Pets, medical, utility bills, house bills, investment, car, whatever kind of stuff you have. You could have 20 categories or you could have 3 categories. I guess it just depends on how complex your life is and how much paper clutter you have. If you see that something is car related, just put it in the car pile and then we'll go through it later. Same with absolutely every other category. The big holdup that you're gonna have is if you start trying to go through every single piece of paper as you're putting it into your piles. That is going to slow you down, trust me. There's a reason that people do assembly lines and why big manufacturers do that. And it's because it is efficient to do one task at a time. What we just did was we hardwired our brain right there to just say, I'm just categorizing my stuff. So as you categorize your stuff, get it into the piles. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about filing. Again, this is one of those things that I chuckle at because I'm like, I'm not that organized, never have been. So it's a little funny that you're gonna take advice from me about how to file. I downloaded an app for my phone and I think it was like $2. There's other apps out there. I mean, you can go ahead and Google and do your due diligence and find whatever kind of app works best for you. If you have a smartphone, I definitely recommend that you download a scanning app. Now, the reason that I think a scanning app with your phone is going to be easier than doing it on your computer is just because we already have our stuff here. You already have a workplace. You can just start scanning. If you guys are going to be doing what I call analog filing or just doing manual filing, woohoo! You're pretty much done. Go file your stuff away and I'll see you guys next time. But anybody who is going to be doing scanning and digital filing, then stick around because we are talking about that now.
Okay, so we are going to use just some notes that I had taken. They're my video notes, so I will show you an example of how the scanning app works. So I have it set to black and white mode and I have it set to medium quality scans because most of the stuff I'm scanning I don't need to be in color. I've already made a bunch of folders, so I'm going to show you what I mean by the auto detect. Boom. And then when you want another one, you just pull it aside. Got it. Got it. I don't have it set to a quality mode for photos, which is why we're getting like weirdness right there. But what's important is my note. If you wanted to have this be better for like photographs and things like that, you can definitely change the settings. Could crop, if you weren't happy with the crop, you could change that crop there. I'll keep that. And then the other thing is important to note that you can change the name. So I'm gonna actually say what this is so that way when I go and look for it later, I'll be able to find it. And you can be as specific as you want. So I just did video notes, March challenge. So now I know what these are. So when I do go to send them to Drive, I'm gonna say done. I've got my 3 pages and I can send them somewhere. So I can either email them to somebody, I could email them to myself. And in this case, I wanna send them to Google Drive.
Once everything is in Google Drive, we're going to then be setting up subfolders, saving them to your desktop, making your file structure how you want it to be, so that way you have a nice digital filing cabinet. It's like, oh my gosh, so many steps. Do I have to do all of that? But it actually is really fast. I've already been doing this. This is something that I started doing before, so I was really excited to know that I would be implementing the same system here. It's like, if you think about it, you have got an infinite size filing cabinet online. It's pretty incredible. Okay, great, we did this decluttering challenge, but now what? And I think it's important, as you guys are looking through this stuff, see what it is that you accumulate a lot of. For me, it's notes and to-do lists. Ugh. That's the kind of thing where I might go back to having one notebook that all my to-do lists are in, so that way they're contained and not just kind of left around on little random pieces of paper. Now that there's a system in place, or in this case, if you chose to have a scanning app, then when you have a receipt that you're like, oh, I might need this, say it's a oil change receipt. You don't want that cluttering up your car or your glove compartment. As soon as you get that receipt, use your phone, take your picture in your scanning app, send it to Google Drive, throw it in the right folder, and you're done. It's probably gonna take 5 minutes, which I get it, that's 5 minutes you might not want to spend in the moment, but that's 5 minutes that I would rather spend then than now. Because right now, this is insane. This has taken me hours. Something to consider. I am basically shredding everything that I scanned in because woohoo, I no longer need it, and that is thrilling to me. If you don't have a shredder at home, I guess just start tearing your stuff up. Or if you aren't that concerned about privacy, then stuff it in a recycle bin and just let it go. So I think we're good. Definitely a challenge that is worth doing. You will be so much happier once you get rid of your paper clutter. If you liked the challenge, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, for going through and filing with me, and good luck completing the March challenge. Let me know what you think of it. As usual, I just want to give a big thanks to anybody who is a contributor on Patreon. You guys are amazing. As you all know, there's a lot of time and effort that goes into making these videos, and I hope that that shows. So again, I just want to do a big thanks to everybody who is a Patreon contributor. Thank you. Please do leave a comment or a tip if you have any about paper clutter, how you like to tackle it, if you have any better apps out there that you want to recommend, anything at all, and I will be hanging out in the comments, answering your questions and responding. Thanks again, and I will see you guys next time. Yeah. Hi. You guys see what I have to deal with? And there's my cat again. Hi, kitty. I'm not gonna get any of this done. This is gonna be relabeled the cat video.